Brother coal miners, many of you wonder why Joe Yablonski is running against Tony Boyle for president of the United Mine Workers. We friends of Tony Boyle wonder why too. Listen to what Joe said about our president at a health and safety meeting at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on April 1, 1969.
We welcome in the United Mine Workers of America, we welcome everyone who says that they're interested in providing greater safety, health, and benefits to our people. We welcome them to help us. But beware of anyone who says to you that he's interested in the welfare of the United Mine Workers of America, but he condemns the union and condemns its leadership at the same time. These are the people that you better keep your eye on. These are the people that would tear your organization apart. And they would create a division in your organization to such an extent that the public at large and many, many legislators, many congressmen, and many senators who apparently seem to be sympathetic to the problems of coal miners today will desert you. So, my friends, there's only one thing that you can do, and that's to believe and unite your organization behind its true and proven leadership. Tony Boyle has been president of this union for 6 years. And I want to say without fear of contradiction from anyone, anywhere in the world, he has moved the mine workers of America forward to a greater degree in a 6-year period of time than any other president of any labor organization anywhere in the world. And I know his devotion to this cause of safety and the cause of health and his concern for compensation for those people that are disabled. So, my friends, the son of a coal miner, whose grandfather was a coal miner, who has been trained through the channels of our organization, is our leader. He's our spokesman. And I wish you could have been before the United States Senate subcommittee when he presented the cause of the United Mine Workers of America with reference to safety and health legislation. You would have been proud that you were a coal miner, that here is a man who sprung up from a family of coal miners trained in the tradition of the United Mine Workers, presenting a gallant argument and fight in behalf of the men who work in the coal mines today and in behalf of the men who have been disabled as a result of injuries and disabilities from pneumoconiosis.
Brother coal miners, what does Joe really think about the Boyle, Titler, Owens team? Listen to what he said about this team at a health and safety rally at Fairmont, West Virginia on April 27, 1969.
There is no man anywhere in this country with greater dedication to the well-being of the United Mine Workers of America than your distinguished president, President W.A. Boyle. He has with him your own West Virginian George Titler, who assists him at every move that is necessary to be made in the interest of this union. And there's nobody has to make a speech to tell you about the dedication and the loyalty and the love for coal miners that John Owens has. So with this kind of a team, there has never been a greater team than this put together in this union of ours or in any other union in this country.
Candidate Joe says he has a great love for young coal miners. This is what he said about them at Charleston, West Virginia on May 4, 1969.
Of course, I know that some of our young fellas get a job at a coal mine, first job they ever had, good wages. Well, what they're interested in is getting a high-powered set of wheels, throwing a six-pack on the seat and getting a slick chick and taking a ride down the road. They're not interested in their union. They're not interested in what their fathers had to go through under the Baldwin Phelps and under the control of the coal operators in this state. But let me say to you, they better get interested.
Brother coal miners, we friends of Tony Boyle do not need to tell you about his accomplishments as president of the United Mine Workers. His opponent, Joe Yablonski, did it for us at a health and safety rally at Fairmont, West Virginia on April 27, 1969.
I remember after the 1958 contract was signed, many of our own members in many sections of the country were making private deals with coal operators and going to work for less than the contract provided for, under the threat by some of these companies that if they didn't accept less wages, the managements would be compelled to shut down the mines. The deterioration became so tremendous that many, many thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, if you please, that should have been paid into the welfare and retirement fund were not being sent in. As a result, you know what occurred. You know that hospitalization cards were canceled, benefits for widows were canceled, pensions were reduced to $75 a month, and limitations were placed upon the period of time that hospitalization would take care of men after they left the mines. General deterioration was occurring in our union. And along came a young fellow who was trained in the national office of our organization by the great John L. Lewis, and by all of the other international officers, into knowing how to handle the affairs of this great union of ours. He came into power as president of this union a short 6 years ago. And what has occurred in the last 6 years? This dynamic union of yours has been reawakened. It's on the move, and we're going forward under this great leadership of President Boyle and his distinguished officers. Why, do you know that contracts have been signed in some sections of the country where your union was not able to get a foothold, all during the time that John Lewis was president. I needn't tell you in West Virginia about Preston County. Everybody in West Virginia knows the history of Preston County. And it was only since President Boyle became president of this union, set into motion the organizing committee, that contracts have been negotiated, men have been organized, and the union is on the march, and it's on the march in Preston County the same as it is in many other non-union counties.
Brother coal miners, remember that John L. Lewis hand-picked Tony Boyle to succeed him. What has Tony Boyle done for the membership, both active and retired? Yablonski told us in the speech at Richwood, West Virginia on April 20, 1969.
And in 1963, a young man came onto the scene as the president of our union. Succeeding to that office after the death of Tom Kennedy was our very distinguished President W.A. Tony Boyle. And let me say this to you this afternoon. In that short period of time of 6 years, when the coal miners in this country and the coal industry was being frowned upon, and people had no concern at all about what was going on in coal, whether it was for the people that were working there or the people that operated the industry. And in the short period of 6 years, 2 conventions and 3 contracts have been negotiated. I don't have to go through with you to leave you know of the benefits so multiple in numbers that were received in these great contracts that were negotiated for the membership of the United Mine Workers of America. I needn't spell out paid holidays, improved vacation payments, increases in wages, and the many other benefits that you're enjoying. But because this young man started to move this union forward with his dynamic manner, the pensions have been improved, brought back to the $100 a month and on to the $115. And certainly we aren't satisfied, and I know that he isn't. And there are many things yet to come for the membership of our great union.
One of the first good things came the day after Tony Boyle became chairman of the Board of Trustees of the United Mine Workers of America Welfare and Retirement Fund. You pensioners, thanks to Tony Boyle, had your pensions raised from $115 to $150 a month. Brother coal miners, heed the words of his opponent and support Tony Boyle, George Titler, and John Owens.